Taurus, the amorous nature. You and Taurus woman, she is a Da Vinci in the art of seduction. From her Mona Lisa smile to the sensual look in her eyes, she is a consummate mistress of love. However, she is not promiscuous, and any hopeful male who picks up her seductive signal had better turn off his antenna if all he wants is a casual affair. Taurus woman is not a lady for a day, or even for a weekend. Her need is for security and stability, and casual is not a word in her vocabulary of love. In many ways Taurus woman is the perfect personification of the old-fashioned woman, for she is devoted and protective, a natural earth mother who loves and nurtures and gives of her strength. She is also earthy in her passions, once she falls in love. Being in love brings out the best in her. She isn't coy or provocative in a love relationship. She is open, affectionate, and demonstrative with the man she cares for, and abundantly generous with her affection, caresses, and verbal endearments. Her sexual appetite borders on the lusty. Indeed, she has a great appetite for life. Her first sexual experience is likely to be with an older, sophisticated man who teaches her the pleasures of fine food and wines and traveling first class. A passionate bed partner and a devoted mate, Taurus woman has a great deal to offer. But she demands a lot in return. She believes in giving her all and taking all she can get. No bargain hunters need apply. She likes to be courted, pursued, and wooed, but is never really won. She makes up her own mind long before what you may consider the decisive moment. She plans ahead, for she doesn't believe such an important matter as sex should be left entirely to chance. The stage is set carefully. Every attention will be given to detail, for the woman born under this sign is marvelous at detail. While you preen yourself on your supposed conquest, she never lets you know that you never had a choice. If she loves you, nothing anybody can say against you will affect her in the slightest degree. She has a secure sense of her own judgment and her own needs, and she trusts her instincts. Taurus woman is a true romantic, serene, unaffected, sexy, artistic, good-natured, yet with elegance and taste. If you capture this woman's fancy, count yourself blessed. You and Taurus man, he won't sweep you off your feet and ride away with you into a crimson sunset. It's not that he's afraid to do this, it's just that the idea would never occur to him. If his maiden fair were locked up in a tower, he'd be far more likely to call at the front gate to negotiate for her release. That's the sensible thing to do. Above all, this man is sensible, down to earth, and practical about love. In his approach to women he is deliberate, looking over the field before he decides. You won't find him trying to win the prize every other man is after. He wants a woman who will satisfy him for the long haul, not a glittering chromium-plated model that's all too soon ready for the junk heap. He prizes security and stability. This is not to say he will turn down an invitation to a weekend frolic with a beautiful blonde. The world is populated with millions of sexy, sensual, casual-seeming Taurus men who certainly enjoy making love. But scratch the surface and you'll uncover a man who doesn't want a relationship unless he thinks it's going to last. When it comes to his emotional life he can afford to be patient. He is very sensitive to a rebuff, but is so good at concealing this that most women never suspect it. He may appear too stolid to be really sensitive, but his tough-looking hide is only tissue thin. It isn't always apparent at first meeting, but, in his own way, Taurus is supremely romantic. He puts the woman he cherishes on a pedestal, though he certainly doesn't treat her like a statue. Unlike some men who have an idealized vision that they try to superimpose on a woman, Taurus loves the real you. This man isn't able to say I love you as readily as the more verbal types such as Gemini or Libra, but he will show his devotion by being unexpectedly generous. Of course, his gifts won't be frivolous because he never loses sight of the value he gets for money spent. He's the kind of man who will buy you a single high-priced piece of jewelry rather than a dozen gaudy trinkets. Beneath the Taurus male's reserve is a passionate, highly physical nature. For him, romance and sensuality are practically interchangeable. Like his female counterpart, he is simple and direct about his sexual pleasures. He sees no need for variations on the theme, But on the other hand, he has all the stamina a woman could ask for. His immense physical vitality more than makes up for any lack of variety. Here is a sensual, strong-willed, sensible man you can depend on. He's loyal, affectionate, kind, and faithful, with a fine understated sense of humor. A lot of women who are looking for Mr. Right need look no farther than a Taurus male. Taurians are not going to be rushed. They like everything, including a friendship or a love affair, to be built on a firm foundation. That may require restraint and patience, but these are qualities Taurians appreciate, for they possess those traits themselves. Hint: the first move is up to you. Taurus is slow to make up his or her mind, and the opportunity will be gone if you don't seize the initiative. Show them you like to be in their company, and try to amuse them. These quiet, easygoing people respond to those from whom they can borrow laughter. You'll find them charming companions, interested and interesting. A tendency to be somewhat ponderous or to go on at excessive length can be corrected with an apartment remark at the right time. If you tell a joke, remember that Taurus's sense of humor tends to be broad, robust, ray blazing. Physical jokes strike their funny bones. If you're feeding a Taurus, feed him or her well. Take her to a restaurant where the chef knows his business and where you can get a good bottle of wine. Cook him a meal at home that shows you know your way around a kitchen, and don't skimp on the portions. If the conversation starts to lag, try that never-failing topic of interest, money. By all means, show off your prized possessions, from stamps to ivory miniatures to jade, or even Indian head pennies. To a Taurian, it's all endlessly fascinating. Don't monopolize the conversation. Once Taurians get started, they like to talk. And don't be niggardly with praise, for their home, their car, clothes, jewelry, they're just plain good taste, and, above all, for them. How to attract Taurus. Taurus and Aries. Taurus is not as quick on the trigger as Aries, but both have a mutual interest in making love. Aries is emotional and Taurus is sensual, and they're bound to have fun while the affair lasts. In time, though, Taurus's possessiveness will strike angry sparks from fiery Aries. They'll also argue about money. Taurus tends to be careful and conservative, Aries is reckless and a spendthrift. Aries' impulsiveness in making decisions annoys fixed Taurus, who dislikes a sudden change in routine. An affectionate affair can turn into a difficult marriage. Taurus and Taurus. This isn't the most exciting union ever, for both are domestic creatures who prefer safety to adventure. However, both share a fondness for money and are hardworking, loyal, and affectionate. She tends to be more sentimental than he, but each is as possessive as the other, which works out fine. Because they are both earthy and direct about sexual needs, there should be no problem in that department. Boredom is the threat. The perfect solution is for each to develop some outside hobbies and friends without raising the possessive hackles of the other. Taurus and Gemini. These two are completely unalike in temperament. Taurus is stolid, fixed in opinions, resistant to change. Gemini is flighty, restless, vacillating. But they may find each other intriguing for that very reason, for a little while. Gemini is attracted to Taurus's passions, but in time Taurus's instinct for security and stability will be offended by volatile Gemini. Taurus is too much a creature of habit to go along with Gemini's constant need for new stimulation. Eventually, Taurus's demands are simply too much for Gemini, who seeks escape. Taurus and Cancer. They have a lot going for them. Both are home lovers, sentimentalists, and highly sexed. Taurus's easygoing, placid nature is a good antidote for Cancer's moodiness, though sometimes plain-spoken Taurus must be careful not to slight Cancer's feelings. Cancer needs someone strong like Taurus to depend on. In turn, Cancer gives Taurus the loyalty and feedback it needs. Taurus is ambitious for money and security, and Cancer has exactly these same goals. Similar interests and desires make for a harmonious mating. Taurus and Leo. Leo demands constant praise and adulation, and is forever competing with Taurus. As a result, Taurus digs in its heels and gets more sullen with each passing day. Taurus needs appreciation and Leo needs worship, but neither will get what it needs from the other. In addition, Leo is extravagant and Taurus parsimonious. There is a basic conflict between Taurus's desire for a well-ordered schedule and Leo's need for a larger-than-life existence. Sexually, these two are well matched, but Leo thinks life is a circus and tries to perform in all three rings at once. Taurus finds that hard to take, or even to watch. Taurus and Virgo, it's love at first sight. Both are homebodies and they share the same intellectual pursuits. Taurus's tenacity and Virgo's sharp mind are a good combination for success as a team. And Taurus keeps a careful eye on expenditures, which pleases thrifty Virgo. Although they lack what might be called a spontaneous approach to life, neither puts a high value on that. They may have to adjust sexually, for Taurus is more physical. However, Taurus will probably waken Virgo's sleeping passions. And they have everything else in common. Taurus and Libra. Taurus finds Libra a warm, romantic, vibrant partner. Libra was born to charm and titillate. Steady Taurus balances Libra's indecisiveness. Money may be a problem, for Libra doesn't share Taurus's reverential attitude toward a dollar, but both tend to be acquisitive and like to collect beautiful things. Both signs are ruled by Venus and have sensual natures, but each expresses this quality differently. In time, Libra's fickleness and casual air toward love can drive Taurus wild, and Libra will certainly resent Taurus's possessiveness. This romantic pairing may not last long. Taurus and Scorpio. These two are opposites in the zodiac, but they have more in common than other opposites. Both are determined and ambitious, and neither is much of a rover. However, there are two strong wills at work here. Taurus's passionate sexual nature meets more than its match in Scorpio. In fact, the sexual element in this affair borders on the obsessive. But Scorpio's overbearing, possessive, jealous nature makes Taurus simmer with resentment. This is a tempestuous affair, and neither has the tolerance to make the union last. Taurus and Sagittarius. This might work if Taurus can tie a string to Sagittarius's kite and hold on tight. They are attracted to each other physically, for Taurus's passions are ignited by Sagittarius's uninhibited lovemaking. But Taurus finds it difficult to deal with Sagittarius's roving eye and search for novelty. Sagittarius has an easy, live and let live attitude about sex and everything else, whereas Taurus is both serious and possessive. Sagittarius refuses to stay under someone else's thumb. No dull moments, but a good deal of quarreling. An affair can be fun. Taurus and Capricorn. Capricorn is a strong match for Taurus, for they both have passions that are straightforward and uncomplicated. There won't be much romance but plenty of healthy sex. They share the same goals and like the same kinds of friends, and both are fond of security and money. Capricorn is a bit more secretive than Taurus would like, but all the same Capricorn's loyalty makes Taurus feel secure. And Taurus is charmed by Capricorn's unexpected sense of humor. Auguries for the long term are promising. Taurus and Aquarius. Neither is likely to approve of the other. Taurus is conservative, careful, close-mouthed. Aquarius is unconventional, innovative, and vivacious. Taurus is lusty and passionate, while Aquarius operates on a mental plane. Taurus finds it hard to keep Aquarius at home or satisfied with the delights of domesticity. Aquarius looks for openness and self-expression in a relationship, while Taurus needs security and comfort. Aquarius, a fancy-free loner who resents ties that bind, sooner or later slips away from possessive Taurus. Taurus and Pisces. Pisces may not altogether understand Taurus's materialistic approach to life. But the dependability of Taurus supplies the anchor Pisces needs to keep from drifting away into a private sea of fantasy. Hard-working Taurus sets a good example for lazy Pisces. Also, Taurus's practical, easygoing nature helps Pisces through its frequent changes of mood. In love, Taurus is devoted and Pisces is adoring. Though Pisces can be a little fey for Taurus, they're well suited sexually. Taurus is passionate, Pisces is sensual, and what's wrong with that?